Hey everyone, Scott from Peak Prosper here today. I'm with my client Andrew, owner of Uptown Painting and Uptown Lights, and we're going to be talking about how, while working together, Andrew went from kind of stuck and feeling like he wasn't living up to his full potential to living his greatest life. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Andrew, can you take a moment to introduce yourself and what your business and you are all about?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I'm Andrew. I've been running a painting company, Uptown Painting, and also we do Christmas light installation with Uptown Light. Going into our 8th year of doing that, and it's been an exciting adventure, to say the least. And yeah, I love adventuring, climbing mountains. It's kind of my jam.
And Andrew, what makes your business unique there at Uptown?
Yeah, unique thing ever since I started the business is that 10% of every job that we do and have ever done goes to local nonprofits, making a big difference in different kind of social justice areas. And so yeah, we've raised about $250,000 for some awesome organizations since I started this.
So, Andrew, let's go back to the beginning before we started working together. What was your life like? Where were you at, and what was going on?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people can relate. 2020 has been a pretty dang hard year on a lot of levels, with the pandemic, but even deeper levels than that for me. And I was just kind of over the summer, kind of in a stuck spot of basically surviving, doing enough to get by, keep the business from completely going under, but not really thriving. Kind of stuck in some bad habits and just kind of a place of wanting to get out, but not really knowing what or how to move myself forward.
Hmm. What were some of those personal challenges that you were trying to tackle in your life and your business?
Financial challenges, a big one. My keeping the business going. The shutdown in the spring really hit the business hard, and just kind of keeping the bills paid. That was a big stressor. Some personal family issues that had developed in the spring and summer. Big life changes with parents, stuff along those lines. Really just stuff that kind of weighed heavy on my heart. And kind of weighed me down.
Hmm. How are you managing all of that? And how are you trying to deal with all of these stressors in your life?
For me, my faith is really important, and on the positive side, just really trying to connect with God on a more deeper level, but kind of really struggling to find that on a regular rhythm, and just kind of having my peaks and my valleys, and really just striving, but never really getting to where I wanted to be. It's kind of where I felt just kind of stuck.
Hmm. Andrew, where did you first hear about Peak Prosper?
I think you messaged me on Facebook. I think we were part of some climbing groups together, and we started talking about kind of goals and yeah, kind of developed from there.
And what piqued your interest and kind of made you decide to work with me as your coach?
Yeah, we talked a little, and then watched your kind of video, checked out your website, and I was really attracted to the approach that you took with coaching, being that it's not just about business or one thing or that. There's kind of a full body or full kind of healthy mentality of adventure, business, health, and bringing that all together and focusing on kind of the deeper root issues and unhealthy habits versus healthy habits. And yeah, your whole kind of approach just really resonated with me. on top of the adventure aspect, which is really important to me in my life.
Andrew, we were talking a little bit before this conversation today about some of the results you've been experiencing. Can you share some of the breakthroughs that you've recently gotten to celebrate in your life and your business?
Yeah, in the business, like I said, just kind of getting from a place of survival, kind of working the minimum to keep things going to at the beginning of this current season, we're in our Christmas light season, had some pretty big setbacks with key employees moving on from the business unexpectedly, and health challenges with one of my managers and him not being able to do his job, and really getting to the point where it felt like there was no possible way we could hit the goal we had set, and just kind of trying to figure out how much revenue we could do. But I'm excited to say just yesterday we crossed our revenue goal, and the season's not even over. So that's pretty exciting. We're now setting newer, higher goals and figuring out what that's going to look like as we have a few months left in our fiscal season, and we've already passed our original goal. So that's a big win. I've got an awesome team right now. We ended up bringing on a few new people as a result, and they're just super great. Excited for that. Financially, I am a big weight on me was some debt I had, and I have just paid off all of my debt and debt free, which is a huge goal of mine for the last few years, and that feels really freeing. And yeah, on the relationship side, I'm just starting a new relationship with an amazing woman, and just really through the work we've done together, deciding what I want in a relationship and how I want to approach that, and then walking that out. And it's been just an amazing adventure that I'm extremely excited about.
Andrew, why do you think you've been able to accomplish these amazing things in your life? Hitting your revenue targets in your business, building a healthy relationship with an amazing woman, and paying off all of your debts that you were carrying around?
I think for me, a big part of my current success, so to speak, is really diving into what is important to me. Faith is really important to me, as I mentioned, and one of the things we did together was focus on that and how I can really build that intimacy with God on a daily basis through positive habits and rhythms, getting up early, doing a victory hour, just really being super intentional on my devotion time, working out every day, focusing on how I want my day to go. That's been revolutionary in my journey, and yeah, just really visualizing the future I want for myself and taking the steps to make it happen, and just focusing on gratitude and joy as it comes.
I love that. When we focus on gratitude, we get more of what we most desire.
Yeah.
How would you describe your return on investment? I mean, there's a financial investment in hiring a coach, but also a big time investment that you put into doing some of the self work. How would you describe your return?
Yeah, that's one of those things that being a big numbers guy, I definitely analyze. All right, how much revenue would I need to generate to justify costs, and really weighing that. And I'd say that it's one of those things that's sometimes hard to measure, but I don't know the dollar amount return ROI, but I know that it's been really positive, and I'm really excited not only for the short-term gains, but just the long-term direction that my life is now moving, and the ability to maintain that momentum. And I really feel like working with you was, in a lot of ways, the spark that I needed just to really go from that stuck spot to really living my true potential and living out my dreams and stuff that I always had in me and was capable of, but just needed that extra push, those extra tools to unlock. And in no way have I arrived, but I'm excited to be moving in the right direction, and I'm really enjoying the journey.
It's the journey, not the destination, right?
Yeah.
Andrew, if other guys were curious about Peak Prosper, would you recommend my work to them? And if so, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I think the approach that you take for me has been really awesome. I really appreciated it and enjoyed it. That being said, as with any coaching experience, like, you have to do the work yourself. So for other guys, if you're ready to make those big life changes and have that extra push, that extra motivation, those tools to make it happen, I think that's a great thing. But you've got to really want that and make the most of the experience. Yeah, it's been awesome working with you.
Andrew, who do you think we're a good fit for, as far as like clients?
Yeah, I think from my experience, you've kind of developed a bit of a niche demographic with working with men who are adventurous. I know for me, being entrepreneurial, it makes a lot of sense because my personal health and wealth is directly tied to my personal mindset and productivity, and being able to really see that return. But even for someone who isn't, who maybe has more of a fixed income, I think just the general life well-being, state of mind, happiness, and health, even if it's not as much of a monetary gain, I think it's harder to measure, but super valuable. But really, I think people who are looking to take things to the next level is the most important thing.
Why should somebody listening to this interview take action right now?
I know for myself, I went through, again, knowing that I had this capability in me, and going through several phases of working on myself. I'm big into listening to books and applying those and making positive changes in my life, and I've always done that. But there's something different about having the next level of accountability with a coach, as well as just the fresh perspective, the tools, that really takes, for me, it's a lot of like kind of going back and forth. Oh, I could just do this on my own. I know I'm capable, but actually making the choice and the investment, for me was what I needed to do, rather than just procrastinating. Well, I know I can do it on my own. So, yeah, technically, probably, but it wasn't happening. So.
Andrew, if people need their house painted or they want their Christmas lights hung, where do they find your business? Where do they learn more about you?
We've got websites, uptownpaintingnw.com, uptownlightsnw.com. Check us out on Facebook, and yeah.
Hey, Andrew, thanks a ton for your time today. I really appreciate it. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
How do you think that went, man?
Felt good to me.